And welcome to Football After Hours. 2 hours and change until the Final Four. We're going to make sure to get you in and out as quick as possible for UConn and Illinois later on in the afternoon. Mostly if we're a bit ahead, we'll keep you updated. But thank you for joining us on this Final Four Saturday. Still a football in your life before basketball begins. Shane, this theme is still so wonderful. I'm so glad that we're still able to use it. This theme is so good.
Well, thank you.
And by the way,
I want to make a new one.
You want to make a new one?
Just have some variety, you know.
Oh, by the way, I just realized, Kenny's using the exact same theme for his Giants show, and I was like, "This is perfect, man. Let him use it."
I did not know that.
It's a football show. You can use it.
Yeah.
I don't care.
So I'll write him his own theme.
Hey, you couldn't. I just said I didn't realize.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, we can make that work. Hey, Nikki, I hope I was watching the Stars game, Nikki, before we got on. It's a great game so far on ABC. Does Shane want a logo for his whiteboard segments? Yes. Talk to him individually about how he wants that to look. That'd be sick. He is in. By the time we get to the show next week, we're gonna have a new logo. By the way, I'm just gonna say that right now. Well, I think it's next week or the week after. But we are here ready to go. We are presented as always by Lion Coffee Company. As you see, it's right here on my wall. Thank you to Patrick for Dallas is a great team. Thank you, Patrick, for sending us everything. I just had the vanilla macadamia before we got on. I am pumped. I'm ready to go. I'm filled with energy.
So fire.
It's so good. And of course, whether you're studying football like we're about to, looking forward to the NFL draft, baseball's opening week, of course, the Final Four coming up. You always need to pick me up to get you through all these crazy Final Four games. Look out for Lion Coffee Company. Get yours, HawaiiCoffeeCompany.com. We absolutely love it. He's been sending us so much great stuff. Go check it out. They always have promo codes there as well. Our official sponsor here for Football After Hours. As we are going with a little bit of speed as we introduce the crew, we are starting with one of our favorite segments, the Round Table 1 minute segment. And our round table for today will be Kirk Cousins' contract. Now, it's a 1-year deal with a team option, essentially, but it's also a fully 5-year, $170, I believe, $2 million contract, but a lot of that is void years. So quick 1 minute, give me a grade, give me your thoughts on the contract. Actually, no, one sentence. This is going to be a 1-sentence segment. Grade, sentence about the contract. That's all. Shane, go. What's your grade? What's your sentence? If you were to dumb it down to one sentence of your thoughts.
I'll give it a B+. I mean, Kirk at this point, nothing too special, but I think he's a good bridge guy while they bring in a rookie, probably Mendoza, just to, mentor him. And I mean, it's essentially, it's not a whole lot higher because, I don't understand why it's so long and so much money when it's essentially just a 1-year, $20 million deal.
It's a cap thing. It's a cap thing.
Yeah.
Void years, cap flexibility.
But Atlanta's paying for most of it, so I mean, hey, I'll take it.
That is true. Atlanta's paying a lot of the contracts.
So, yeah.
All right,
thoughts.
Scoop, your grade and your sentence.
A-. Excuse me. Depending on where I look, it says 20 million, or I've seen some sources even say as low as 11.3 million guaranteed on this contract. So even if it is 20, though, again, it's hard to find many better bridge quarterbacks right now than Kirk Cousins. You guys know I've spoken highly of him in the past. I think that he's really overcome some of those bugaboos that he's had from late night games and having veteran quarterbacks, especially established, successful ones, as a holdover to your rookie that doesn't force him to be rushed in, I think typically bodes well for the young guy more often than not. The only reason I can't give this an A or an A+ is because it involves the words Raiders and quarterback.
Yes. Shane, did you have something to add there?
Yeah, I keep seeing the 11 8.3 million number as well. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's what the Raiders are paying for the guarantee.
Yeah, I
Or
believe
maybe,
so.
or maybe
I
what the
am.
Falcons are paying for it, and then
Well,
yeah,
the Falcons are paying out his access of the rest of the money. So I have no idea what the whole structure is.
yeah.
But it is interesting. It's just a very complicated numbers thing across the board. Brandon, your sentence and your grade, please.
To borrow a quote from the Orange Man, we are going to take Kirk Cousins and make the Atlanta Falcons pay for it. But I won't. But I think listen, it's good to have a guy like that, a veteran that can mentor Mendoza when he gets there, because we all know Mendoza's getting drafted there. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it because Kirk Cousins always been meh his whole career, just a stat patter. I don't think it's anything special. I would say B minus, not great, but as a bridge guy, as a mentor, it works for them, and they need that as they transition into a new era. So it works.
I'm going a B plus as well. I'm trying to figure out how many games Kirk Cousins will play. Because here's the thing: if Mendoza has a great camp, they're not going to not start him week 1. This is how this sport works.
That's what I'm saying,
If
yeah.
you have a good camp and a good preseason, and you're overwhelmingly better than the guy behind you, you're going to play. So that's the thing. But if I was to put an over/under on how many games Kirk Cousins will play for the Raiders, I'm going to put it at 11 games. I think by the time we hit Thanksgiving, Mendoza will have his first start. I imagine Kubiak would rather let him learn, no matter how good his camp is going to be. And Kurt wants to start somewhere, so Kubiak had to have given him some guarantee that or some quote unquote guarantee. We know how this works. To say, hey, you'll start about 10, 11 games. No matter what we do. I imagine that'll be the case unless Kurt just absolutely looks atrocious. That could happen. This offensive line is terrible, but you never know. So we'll see. The Raiders camp now becomes way more interesting than it was a month ago. That training camp is going to be absolutely fantastic, and we'll be very excited to cover it for you on this show. Thank you, guys. That was a 5-minute segment. Fantastic efficiency. I love it. Okay, Shane. Your whiteboard segment number 2. We have 2 more of these to go after this. Your third one will be next week as well. But yeah, what do you have for us today, my friend? As we switch the screen over to you.
Not
Stop
to Brandon.
calling me.
I'm moving him. Relax. There we go.
It's not about me.
All right. Does everybody have their notepads ready?
Reese Street loves Brandon for some reason. Absolutely loves.
Everybody loves me.
Yes. That is why you're on the show.
Let's not get carried away here. Just kidding.
All right. Whiteboard segment number 2. For those who, really quick, for those who didn't watch the first episode, can you kind of give a brief summary of what we covered in week 1 for the people that are new?
Yeah. So week 1, we talked a lot about, just kind of like the difference between strong side and weak side, field versus boundary, and then, what each position actually is and how you put it on a whiteboard, and just things, like looking at the box, right? And considering blockers, stuff like that. It wasn't anything too nerdy yet. But the biggest idea we had is, it was learning how to kind of read football, how to look at the field and just understand what you're looking at, right? And the idea of creating space and attacking leverage. So now today, we're going to learn how to attack said leverage. How you force the defense to be wrong. Because every play you're trying to put the defense in a bad position. So how do you do that? First thing is I want to talk about two terms, personnel and formation. Can anybody tell me what they mean? Scoop.
Wow.
So personnel is like if people say like 11 personnel, that talks about like the number of tight end. Like one of the numbers is tight ends. I don't remember exactly which one. And one is backs. And then the difference between that and the number 11 is the summation of your wide receivers and your linemen.
Yeah. So yeah, personnel essentially is who's on the field, right? And yeah, so the first sorry.
Move the chair.
Figure it out.
Push the chair.
Gonna get in position here.
We still gotta hang up the whiteboard, man. We need to figure that out. We need to hang.
No, because
it.
then it'll be too small.
Yeah.
Well, we'll buy you a bigger one. Let's go to Hobby Lobby and get you a bigger one.
I like that thought.
I didn't even know you had that in Washington.
We love Hobby Lobby is a massive addiction for us in Washington State.
I mean, I don't know what he's talking about. I've only been there once. Anyways,
It's like a big thing.
so for personnel, first number is backs.
Fuck. Oh, sorry.
What the hell? Yeah, we're allowed to swear. You're fine. This is technically a late night show. Why did that turn into an F word? What happened?
Because
Did
I
your
went
cat
to.
bite you?
She ate here. No, because I went to write and the pen wasn't working and I didn't want to hold anything up.
No, it's fine. That
So
was
first-
hilarious.
first
That was
number-
the best thing Scoop has ever said. That was
First
great.
number is backs. Second number is tight ends. So, for example, if you have 11 personnel, that equals 1 RB and 1 tight end. That's a terrible B. Sorry. And so then, however many receivers you have will always add up to this number. It has to add up to 5 because you have 5 linemen and then a quarterback. So that's 6, and then 11 minus 6 is 5. So in this case, 3 wide receivers. Hold on, I'm just gonna go shut this window because the glare is driving me crazy.
Not only are you dealing with sun in your area, Brandon? Because I saw Scoop has some sunlight. Do you have sun in your
Little
area?
bit. It's been in and out today.
We don't actually have that. We don't actually have that much. It's just the way that it's reflecting off the clouds makes it look. It's deceiving as to how much there is.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, it's just sunny here today. It's just cold. Can the
Yeah.
Mariners not hit a home run in this weather? Yeah, I don't think they can. But
It's not
another time.
that cold.
It's not that bad.
So, so yeah, like 11. That's a common personnel you'll see in today's game, and then that's kind of modern football, so to speak. It's spread out, it's fast, it's pass heavy. Then another common one you'll see is 12 personnel, which is how many running backs and how many tight ends, Robert?
I can't do math. Why are you going to the one person that doesn't do math?
What do you mean? Just do the numbers. 1 running back, 2 tight ends.
Thank you. So that's, that'll give you more size. You'll see that a lot more like in run game, play action.
I'm just gonna ask. That's typically more for a run formation, right?
Yeah, and then, like 21, that's where you have 2 backs and a tight end. That's much more old school, right? So, so personnel tells you more often than not, it tells you intent, right? So if I come out in 11 personnel, for instance, are you thinking I'm going to run or pass?
Pass.
Pass.
Right. If I come out in 21, what do you think I'm going to do?
Run.
There you go. And
I wasn't sure with that one, honestly.
so that's all right.
Is that an Eagles joke?
No, he said 21 was old school, and I was like, I don't know. I was born in 2000.
Fair play.
So good offenses will break those expectations. Great example we talked about a couple times on the show is Sean McVay, who this year played out of 13 personnel a lot. 1 running back, 3 tight ends. And they would run to the left side. And then everybody was being drawn that way. And then all of a sudden he'd hit you with a random, pass to the opposite side of the field and it'd throw everyone off. So personnel, that tells you who's on the field. Formations tell you how they line up.
Mhm.
Right. And so now you know how offenses sometimes present themselves, right? Let's talk about what they actually do. So for running, there are millions of different types of runs you can do. I mean, you guys know all of them from Madden or whatever. But
Inside zone, baby.
But they all fall.
Okay, Kevin.
They all fall into 3 main buckets. Okay.
I apologize. I need to acknowledge, Scoop, that joke was incredible. I just didn't acknowledge it as good as I wanted to. I apologize. Continue, Shane.
Bucket number 1, zone. Bucket number 2, power. And bucket number 3, counter. Make that look more like a T. Sorry. So, zone is about finding space. Similar to how on defense, like zone versus man coverage. Zone, you're kind of guarding an area. Zone, the offensive linemen are not guarding a particular person. They're guarding an area. So you do this against fast defenses, right? You let them kind of run themselves out of position because you're in a certain area. Power, on the other hand, is much more like man coverage. You are creating the space because you're blocking each person. Your left tackle saying, okay, I'm going to guard that guy. You guard, so on and so forth. So it's basically you saying, we're going to bring in an extra blocker and we're going to run the ball here. Good luck. And you'll use this oftentimes in short yardage situations, physical things, right? And then counter is just deception, right? You show one way, have all your blockers going to the left, and then ball carrier gets the ball, cuts right, whatever.
That's also like the whole like zone run offense, like vertical zone run, vertical power run, that type of thing, right? Like that's
yeah, exactly. That's what it all comes down to, and that's why if you run a zone run scheme, it suggests that you get agile offensive linemen.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's more like agile offensive lineman and
right.
Exclude. What's the word? Elusive back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you're creating space, or you're finding space. Sorry. Whereas power, you are creating the space. You're dominating, saying no, you're going here. And so, essentially, zone is finding space, power is creating it, and then counter is manipulating it. So, for example, let's just make our little line here.
Excuse me.
You're excused.
You are good. This really has turned into a classroom environment. It's pretty great.
I love it. This is the most notes I've taken since the first year of college.
I just love that my notes are coming out. I love that my notes are coming out cleanly for the first time.
No, same here. My handwriting is like, where did this come from?
The thing is, I write smaller notes, and then I'm gonna go back and watch these shows again and write bigger notes. I just want to focus, and this is how I did it in school too.
This looks like my offense in Madden already. I'm scared. I'm scared that this is Shane game planning for week 18.
Every time Shane does this segment, it's me game planning for Madden.
So like, oh my God, that's a 7, not a T. What I'm doing. There we go.
There's the ear, nose, and throat specialist.
So, yep.
Yeah.
So, like, it's hard to write from this angle.
This is why we're gonna next week, Shane. We're going to Hobby Lobby, and I'm getting you a bigger whiteboard.
Okay,
we're doing this.
So, let's say the offensive line is going to block like this. This is more of a zone look because they're just kind of coming up and saying like, okay, I'm going to guard this area. I'm going to guard, and then we're going to try to make a hole right here. So that would be, say it, everybody.
Inside zone.
It's an inside zone.
Yeah.
Now, what would make this like a power run is if our left tackle was going right there. Guard was going right there. This guard was, or better yet, center is going there. Guard here. And then, you know, maybe the left guard is going out to like the mic or something. Now it becomes a power because you are purposefully making a path and taking each person, right?
And then occasionally when you have, sorry, I have a question. I had a question. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And then occasionally when you have a nose, like let's say an Aaron Donald type, that's what he means when he says like they don't give him one-on-ones. It's like they decide to just say like we're going to put 2 linemen on this guy instead because we think he's a game disruptor that much.
Yeah, like a lot of times, like nose here, you know, in today's game, Chris Jones, right? He'll a lot of times get both the left guard and the center on him like that.
Yeah.
But then that's what allows, you know, like Nick Bolton to make so many plays because he's unaccounted for, right?
Right.
Yeah. So then if you're doing this, let's say you're, you know, going to the left here and all that, then halfback gets the ball and cuts this way. Now you're a counter.
Right.
So that's 3 different ways to run essentially the same concept. You know, and so as far as passing goes, concepts want to attack different kinds of coverage. So so you have basically 4 main types. There's the quick game, right? This is slants, hitches,
drags,
flats, drags. Yeah. This is best time to do this is when corners are playing off, playing softer coverage. So, you know, let's say, let me move to a different color here just to not confuse us. So, you know, let's say we've got and then So you got your corners, right? So if they're up tight like this, you're thinking they're probably going to press or be in man. So this would not be a time to do quick game because there's going to be a lot of traffic in here. However, if field corner is, let's say, up here, well, that's a great time to run a 6-yard hitch or a like that, or you could do a curl.
I'm getting PTSD.
You could do a
I'm getting
slant.
PTSD. Brandon, how many? We have 4 of these shows. How many times are you gonna get PTSD?
Wait, sorry, I have another question. So
Yeah.
when I see on like a play art, and it looks very much like that, what you just drew right there, that looks like a tree branch, where like they have 2 possible directions in which they like is that just a judgment call for the runner on that point, like when they get there on the play?
It's a judgment
Yeah.
call for the receiver based on the look they get in the coverage. So based on the feet of that field side corner. Can you pull that up, Shane, really quick? Pull up the whiteboard. What that is, at least how I know it from Madden and seeing it in real life, is the receiver will look at the feet of the field side corner and say, okay, if I get leverage and go to the right side, that means he's moving kind of towards the left with his feet. He's attacking me.
It's not that is correct, except you're not looking at the feet. You're looking at the hips.
There you go. Better. Shakira, right? This is what you say.
I always say Shakira. Hips don't lie.
Oh wait, I remember that now.
Uh-huh.
Can you explain that for our audience? Because that's something we've talked about privately. But the whole
Well, if you watch it in a game, you'll see a corner sometimes turned in towards the O line when he's lining up against a receiver. It's like the hips are kind of him and his hips are turned. So it's
because when DBs are backpedaling, the biggest indicator of their movement is which direction their hips are going, because you kind of have to be like on a swivel almost, right? And so the first thing that's going to go is your hips. So if field corner if he seems to be backpedaling and his hips are facing this way, then he's going to try to come up this way, right? So in that case, that would be a good time to, fake him out, and then maybe like you're gonna go this way, be deceptive, and then do the hitch the other way, right? So sometimes it works, but a lot of times corners are really smart. They pick up on it, right?
What about like those, like when you see like those 10, 15-yard comeback routes? Like
yeah, that's those are great against like cover 4 or some sort of a deep game, because if you're, let's say you're in quarters, for instance, you're going to be all the way up here, right? So if you get going,
quarters is 7 backs, right?
No, quarters is when the safeties and the 2 outside corners are playing the deep quarters of the field, defending the deep quarters.
So it's not like dime look or nickel look.
No.
It's
although
the best way to explain it, Scoop, is that it's purple zone in Madden. Almost everything's purple.
Okay.
Everything's purple.
Yeah.
Everything's hook or not hook. Everything's whatever it's called. But it's purple zone.
And so this is like a comeback is great in this situation, because you'd be going up this way and he's just going to try to stay on the top. And a lot of times, if you can make it look like you're running your absolute hardest, this is something that DK Metcalf is great at. It's like the one route running thing he's a master at. Where he looks like he's running a go, and then all of a sudden comes right back down, and then gets a first down. So yeah, that's a great time for that. But yeah, when they're deep like this, that's how that's a great time to do quick game. And this is how, like in the later years of the Pete Carroll days, this is how their defense kept getting beat because they were always in cover 3 or 4, and it just left this kind of like intermediate middle of the field wide open.
Yeah, it was so annoying. Every week I would talk to Shane and I'd be like, "Oh my god, they're doing it again. Again."
Yeah.
It was so annoying. We lost our crap for months for most of those seasons.
Yeah. And so so that's one thing that we have. So for, quick game. Then there's kind of like what I would call short game. Like it's a little longer, but it's kind of, you're not just like trying to throw it instantly, right? And so this is great for against man coverage situations like this, because it's a lot of situations where this is things like crossing routes, for instance, mesh, dagger, right? Where there's a cluster of defenders and you're basically trying to get one of them to lose leverage. For instance, where's blue? Here's blue. So
Blue 42. Blue 42, there go.
So let's say doing a post here. We've got
I'm just gonna quickly say this: the blue marker is my favorite marker.
Let's say we have a post, then a sail, and then an in, and then a dig. So this, if you're in man coverage, this is causing a ton of traffic in this area. And somebody will get mixed up, and either Y will be open or F will be open, most likely. Okay? Because you're going to see these two receivers who look like they're kind of going deep. So they'll bring a couple guys up, but then they'll just forget about this guy underneath or this guy underneath, depending on how they're playing coverage.
May I ask a question?
Of course.
So part of this with the let's focus on the X receiver for a moment in this look. The X receiver will not only take that corner that's next to him, but also that safety over top is going to be so scared about that or the F even, correct?
Yeah. Let's see, because
I know it's simple, but I figured I just ask just in case I'm missing anything.
So, yeah, I mean, a lot of times it'll depend on the coverage. So, they're playing tight here. So let's just assume they're in cover 2. Okay. Now, so in that case, these guys are going to be kind of playing the deep parts of the field. You're going to have man on, man on, man on. So, usually you're going to have a Mike there. Will probably like here in that situation, right? So basically what's going to happen there is if they're in cover 2, these two guys are going to go with X and F, right? And then that's just going to leave a wide open space right here for a tight end. Whereas if they're in let's say they're in cover 3, I guess. And so let's say he's sitting up here. Then that's when F will be open, because Will in a cover 3 might be here, he might be on this side, they might balance it out, right? And so they'll likely forget about this space right here, because the safeties are going to be too busy seeing this guy come running up that way, and then he just gets kind of lost. So that's the idea of creating space, right? Just based off of who's going which direction, and then leverage. This is great, especially on like 3rd and short, because typically defenses are going to be, they're not going to be in zone looks, and so that's like prime time to throw to a tight end or just a short route. So that's like short-ish. And there's medium. Again, and this is when you start getting into situations like flood. You know how I love flood.
Oh, yeah.
And so
I've beaten the crap out of all you with that.
yes.
Yes.
Thanks for the reminder.
And you know the reason the reason flood, I need a new wipe. So the reason flood works so well is because you're attacking 3 different levels of the same side of the field, right? So hold on, just get that going. Okay. So what you want to do in medium passing situations is this is when you want to stretch the field vertically. So this is, and what I mean by that is you want to have a good short route, a good medium, and a good deep, right? So flood is a great example here. And hold on. Oh, the board is still too wet. Oh no. I'm not going to be able to write on it.
What's up,
Carson,
Carson? How you
welcome to
doing?
the show. Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Same with you, Nikki,
Just-
as well. Thank you to everyone who's joining us on all of our platforms today for this classroom session. We
I
appreciate
think I know
it.
who Carson's rooting for in the game on for the men in the finals. He hates the Wolverines for any context.
Thank you for joining us before the Final Four. We appreciate it.
So, so like for instance, oh wait,
At some point, I do have a question about the 3 levels of routes, but I'll wait.
go ahead.
No, this would be a perfect time. Please scoop.
Okay, so there's one play I can't for the life of me remember what it's called, but there's one play that kind of like I'm gonna try and do it with my fingers. There's a route that goes like that. I know it's a play action play. It's this, that, and then that. They're kind of like
Play.
stacked.
It's a play action crosser. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Would this be an example of a time to use that, or because it's play action, would that be different?
Yeah, no, that's accurate. And so the reason you want to do this in zone situations is because, so let's say they come out in a balanced look. If they, in theory, will have 2 DBs on this side, and there's going to be 3 receivers over there. So right away you have a mismatch. because you have one more receiver than they have bodies to defend them. If you're in man, however, this wouldn't work as well because it's just going to be a lot of traffic and it's going to be all congested over here. So, flood is a great example for this. Another one would be crossers. Yeah. Let's see. Another one would be dagger, which we talked about a little bit earlier. There's a bunch. And so this is, Robert.
This also reminds me of Scoop's question and made me go to a separate question that might assist this as well. Play action. When is it valuable to use play action? I know that's kind of a loaded question, but where?
Yeah, that was going to be my after we got through medium. That was going to be my very next question.
Yeah, could you kind of explain where that? I know it's really loaded because there's a lot of different ways, but is there like a simple way you can approach that?
Well, yes, there is.
Yay!
So,
because in Madden, I'm just gonna say because this is why. Because in Madden, every time I run play action, my offensive liner's dumb, and I always get sacked.
Yeah,
but I know that's not how it works in real life.
And in contrast, when I play like independently, when I'm not playing against one of you three, I throw play action so much it's like 50% of my offense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So the best time to use play action is when you have established the run.
Right.
And what I mean by that, I mean, that's the first big example. When you've consistently been getting 4 to 6 yards on inside zone or whatever, the linebackers have to respect it. So that's when you hit them with a play action. Because even if you're not actually running well, if the defense thinks that you will, like, that's enough, because that's there's an offensive coordinator that I played for and coached with for a while, who, Robert, you know him. And his whole thing is he was always like, the more you run and show them that you can run, it subtly draws the front seven in towards the box.
Because they think that's what you're going to do every time you come to the line of scrimmage.
Right. And so then that's when you hit him with play action because, okay, you're handing it off to this guy. It looks like, oh, never mind. He's rolling out to pass. And you're screwed because you have everyone in the box. And
right. And everyone's hips are turning towards where they think the running back is going to go. That split second gets a receiver wide open. It's milliseconds of decision making.
And that's why it's so important to, on defense, be watching the offensive tackles. Because
like the Seahawks did against the Patriots, that's how they won the Super Bowl.
Because 9 times out of 10, if the ball snaps and they go backwards, that means it's going to be a pass. If the ball snaps and they go forward, it's going to be a run. The only time where that's not the case is like on a draw play or on a screen, and that's it. Okay, so
it's not even the case for like a counter or misdirection?
No.
They're always going to push forward because it's a run. The running back's going.
They're trying to make a running lane. So a lot of times teams will be fooled by play action just because they're so used to, okay, they're in this same formation, this is their tendency, and then it's just like, okay, ball snap, okay, but if you are diligent, you pay attention, and that's easier said than done, because as the game goes on, the defense gets more tired. It's hard to pay attention to all these little things on every single play, and it's easy to just, forget about it.
Slip on something.
Yeah. And so So another great time for play action is like first and second down. Defense is usually going to be a little more balanced.
Yeah.
On third and long, nobody cares about the run fake. So that's
Yeah.
why you'll see play action a lot like on first and 10 when it's like you could run literally anything and it would work.
In theory.
Right.
Well, you see it on the shot plays too on second and short sometimes too.
Yeah, that's another one because that's another classic running situation.
Thank you, Trevor.
Another
Thanks
one
for joining us.
How you doing, Trev?
Another great time is against aggressive linebackers because some defenses are still taught to trigger downhill hard, especially
Aggressive mean like they bite the run early?
yeah, like they just the second the play goes off, they're like blitzing or whatever.
Yeah.
Immediately crashing down towards the offensive
Yeah.
line. They think it's a
That's
run.
what I thought, but I just wanted to be clear on that.
No, and
Yeah,
that's a great question, Scoop, because clarity is most important when we're talking about
We're
talking about
'cause Rob, you and
milliseconds
I-
of decision making.
Right, because Rob,
Milliseconds.
you and I talked about crashing at about 1 a.m. the other night.
Well, that's the thing that I was telling Scoop during Madden, but this is more important in real life, Shane, and you can explain this more. Football is milliseconds of decision making. One wrong
Yeah.
move and you're screwed.
Yeah,
Or
and
even not even a wrong move, like a hesitation even.
Yes.
yeah.
One small hesitation is the difference between you winning one down and losing one down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so yeah, that's basically that's when I would say. But yeah, and so then for deep passing, this is typically like cover 2 or even cover 0. When like if corners are impressed, so if they're up close to your receivers, that's the time you want to do it. So it's basically like 2 high looks. That's when you're going to want to do that because you can stress the safeties, and when you've got if you got 3, 4, 5 guys going deep, 2 safeties can't cover all of them. So so that would be the best thing.
All right.
And that leads into some like quarterback decision making where it's like, okay, if I'm sitting there saying, okay, if they do this, then we're going to do this, right? So if say they have a light box, okay, I'm going to run it. Because let's say they have 5 guys in the box, I've got 6 guys in the box to block. There we go.
Mismatch.
Because scoring touchdowns, this is important. Yes, or just moving the ball in general. Obviously, it's about space, leverage, all that. But none of that matters. None of that works if you can't block. Without that, everything goes to crap. There's a fantastic clip of Alvin Kamara one time getting a ball, and he runs behind a blocker for probably, 10, 15 yards, just waiting for the guy to block his guy in front of him. Now, Kamara could have sped ahead of and tried to juke the guy, but there's no guarantee he would have. So because he was patient and just went behind the blocker, he ended up getting a lot more yards because of it. And so that's a great example, right? Of why blocking matters.
Well, that's what Le'Veon Bell did for years behind the Steelers O-line.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Patience.
And that's what Marshawn Lynch was great at that too. I mean, he's known for running through people, but he also was, he was a very smart runner too. So, so quarterback, he'll get up there, light box. Okay, I'm going to run it. If the corners are off, they're playing a little deep, I'm going to go to quick game. If there's 2 high safeties, all right, I'll, take something underneath. If there's 1 safety way back there, corners are playing a little tight, I'll take a shot deep. You just got to take what the defense gives you.
Go where they ain't, basically.
Yeah. And so, here we go. I'm going to, hold on. Now, this is where we make it interactive. So, we've got our, we've got, so I'm going to be the defensive coordinator. You guys are going to be the offensive coordinators. All right. So I'm going to come out in a look, and I'm going to have an idea of what I want to do, but I'm not going to show you until afterwards. So here we go.
Shane, do you mind really quickly? I'm going to show, I don't know how it's going to show on screen, so I apologize.
That's fine. Go for it.
You're talking about Alvin Kamara. I'm just going to give a quick thing because I wanted to look up a couple of his highlights. Again, I'm not sure how well this is going to show for you guys, but I imagine it will show to our viewers quite well.
I hope so.
Some of his play calling or some of his highlights here that I wanted to showcase. So really quickly, so the Lions, they're in the red zone here. And so I'm going to play this really quickly. I have my captions on. I apologize. So let me quickly go back to this. So you see, they're at here about the 15-yard line. I'm gonna pause it right when he makes a decision. So Drew Brees is still Drew Brees. He hikes the ball right here. Right here, he sees the blocker in front, which I believe is 71, then 67 right here. He knows that the right here, but he's waiting. He's hesitating just a little, if you can see that. But it's a very small hesitation with his feet. Right there, very hesitation before he makes the turn, and then he hurdles right here. So again, it's very slight milliseconds of hesitation. This is a play, so I'll skip that. Even on a screen right here, even on the screen against the Packers, he's waiting for 76 to block. He knows that he's going to come in and block, and he makes that decision.
And
so that's what Shane's talking about, is these split seconds decisions that he makes with his feet, even on screens, that make him a very elusive back, especially in the Drew Brees era when he's a rookie. Continue on there, Shane.
And this is, in my opinion, like a great example of this is Kenneth Walker, because in his early years, that was his biggest weakness, is he would hesitate because he was trying to see where the hole was, and then he would just get stuffed. But now, his hesitation is his greatest strength, because he hesitates knowing where the hole is going to be, and he's just waiting for it to open. He's waiting for the guy to get there so that he can go, and it's a simple thing, but it's like, it's the difference between him averaging, 3 yards a play and being a Super Bowl MVP. So anyways,
thank you for letting me show that really quick, just as like not the best example, but a light example of what you're talking about with Kamara. So thank you for that, Shane.
Yeah, of course. No, I appreciate you bringing it up, because he's a great example of all that. All right, here's what we got. Who would like to go first? Let's say you're 1st and 10. What kind of a concept would you want to run here?
I'm running crossers because I'm running what you showcased earlier in this segment, because I can take away the free safety here, and I have a drag. Let's say I have a drag underneath here, and in like an in, or no, yeah, would it be an in? Yeah, an in. Basically taking the will and the mic to make decisions, and then I'm gonna find somebody wide open. Am I correct?
Okay. You wouldn't want to run either.
No, I'm scared.
That was good. That was going to be what I was going to say.
I'm a little bit nervous to run because the will and the mic are gonna crash, especially if I'm running here towards the left side. I'm a little bit concerned about them crashing.
Couldn't you motion couldn't you motion the H out to the other side?
I could definitely consider doing that. Yes.
To the open side.
That's what I was thinking, was motioning the H out to the other side.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because you got a lot of open space that way. Everybody's to the left.
By the way, if we've talked about it before, so if the H is on the same side as the Y, it's closed. If he's on the other side, it's open. Just an important tidbit there, because if your formation is, let's say this would be gun doubles right, because the tight end is on the right side, open. There you go.
Yeah, that's.
Anyways, so where's red? Here's red. So crossers, we're gonna be.
Excuse me.
Again, I'm happy to be wrong. This is the idea of this.
No, you are good.
Just as soon as I saw 6 in the box, I wanted to ask about a run.
This comes from me playing Madden. This is something that I was telling Scoop is
something like that.
Right. But this is what I was telling Scoop when we were playing Madden is a lot of the times what I'm doing when I'm playing Madden is I'm watching the mic always, but I'm also watching who are you usering and what decisions are you making when you're usering. So, for example, in this section, Scoop would user the will here, and I would watch how he's moving. Is he crashing or is he pulling back? And pulling back, if I that's what I was telling Scoop is, and he improved on this a lot in the games since we played. Where I was telling him, like, dude, what he's doing is you're on the will linebacker in this set, and you're stepping back 2 steps instead of crashing. Those 2 steps are the reason I'm gaining 5-6 yards instead of me losing 1.
Yeah, literally just an accidental movement of my finger, which is why I don't even keep my finger on that button anymore.
Actually, I'm gonna do something a little different here. I'm gonna put the.
These concepts look
right there.
Madden is not a great showcase of football, but it does help.
Because in Madden you can run a bunch of different things to beat it, because the game will just give you it.
Yeah, the game will just give you stuff. There's a lot of scripting, but in real life it's very different. But the rules still apply as long as you know the rules.
This is implying the offensive line does their jobs, which we know in Madden is more rare than a unicorn with 3 hairs.
Exactly.
So based off this look, judging by the corners and the safeties, what coverage do you think they will be in here? Man or zone?
I was thinking cover 2 man.
Yeah, that
probably
would be
that's
a great thought, Scoop. That's an excellent thought
because our corners are pressed.
Right, because the corners are pressed and there's 2 guys up at top.
Yeah.
It's definitely, it's not zone when you have all those guys up like that.
So most likely not. Nope.
So let's say this is cover 2 man. Who's our first read gonna be?
Your 2 reads that I'm looking at most here is the
first read.
First read. Honestly, I'm looking at
would it be the boundary corner? I mean the Z. The Z. Excuse me.
Scoop says Z. What do you guys think?
I want the F because I see that open space right here, and I'm going to see if the safety crashes down. Safety crashes down and my X makes a move and is able to beat the field side corner, he's going to be open.
Brandon.
See, I'm thinking about Madden. And Madden, I don't trust
Yeah,
anything.
you and me both.
But
Wait,
no, we're
I'm
not talking
sorry.
about Madden.
We're talking about real life here.
What does
So
NB mean again?
it's like, see,
Nickel.
like for
Right.
me, I like to attack with my tight end, but at the same time, the tight end's has basically 4 guys in that area, so I wouldn't even look at the tight end.
Can I say
The
something?
F
here?
looks like he'd end up being double teamed.
Can I say something here, Shane?
No
Can I
problem.
add something?
Go ahead, Robert.
So you and I have had extended conversations, and I think this is a great example. So I want you to talk about this because I love this conversation. We've talked about this for years about Cam Newton, his first few years, and how Cam Newton, they would ask him, "Hey, don't look at the whole field. Just look at one side. Look at the Y and Z here, or look at the X. Mostly the Y and Z, but look at the X and F." And that made him a much better quarterback for a few years until defenses started figuring out what they were doing. So I don't know if this adds to it at all, but can you kind of explain that kind of idea? Because I can look at this and I could look at the left side or I could look at the right and make some decisions with my reads.
The problem with the looking at one half is defenses are so good at disguising now that doesn't really work.
Yeah.
It doesn't really work, but it used to back in those days.
Yeah,
It
early
was-
2010s, yeah.
Yeah.
Before everything became offensive heavy.
Yeah. So basically it was just, don't worry about any of these guys. We're just going to look over here, for instance, right? And so we just got to worry about 1, 2, 3 guys. And then basically, like, you just try to figure out, like, okay, which one looks like they're going to be open. And then go from there, which at the pro level is so dumb. because
it only worked for a couple of years and then it was dead.
Yeah. I mean, Cam Newton, obviously a very talented player, but dude's dumber than rocks.
Why do you think the Broncos offense gets in trouble? Because Sean Payton cuts off half the field every other damn play.
True, he does with Bo a little bit.
Somewhat.
Bo's getting better at though, because his knowledge has improved tremendously.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So
please continue, Shane. I wanted to ask that though.
Yeah, so cover 2, if they're in cover 2 man, first read is going to be F, second read is going to be Y. Because if F can get inside leverage on the nickel, free safety is going to be a little too deep. And then Rover is most likely going to go this way with Y.
Right.
However, if he sees F coming over, he's going to lean more that way, and then that'll make a little space for Y. Now, let's say they're in cover 3, where field is here, free is here, boundary is here, and Rover is now. What do we think?
Honestly, I want a halfback in a flat in this situation. If the halfback is moving somewhere,
If they're playing,
That
that
is a
far
good
back,
thought.
if they're playing that far back, would you go for something quick like a slant pattern?
slant. Think about wait.
Well,
wait. Think about this, Scoop. Let's say I'm putting the F on a slant here. Well, guess what? The Rovers got that covered. Even if I put the Y, the Rovers got that covered.
Or mine.
I'm just looking at how far back the 2 edge corners are.
See,
Well,
But again, Scoop.
Oh, so they're not starting there; they're just dropping.
Pre-snap, they're still up here.
Oh, my bad.
Listen, Scoop. I'm sorry to interrupt Shane's thing. Scoop, this is why I tell you when you play Madden, yeah, you need to look at the corners, but you need to look at what the linebackers are doing. The linebackers are your biggest tell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you look at the linebackers first. and then go outside.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
if I'm running on the F, right? If I take an F and I am doing a slant, well, guess what? If the rover's here and the mic is here and the wheel is here, you're getting picked. Because you're
Yeah.
not accounting for the
Yeah.
middle of the field. You
Yeah.
need to
I was
account.
mis-
You need
I
to
was
account for the
misreading,
middle of
thinking
the
that the
field first.
FC and the BC were starting that far back.
No.
No.
That's
So
close.
this is
Yeah, that was my
so-
misunderstanding.
But if,
So
but if
this
they
is-
did, but if they did start that far back, couldn't you just run a mesh play?
right. So if they, and this is the key. So many defenses disguise what they do now. So they're getting up tight like this. You're thinking that's probably going to be cover 2, maybe cover 4, right?
Mhm.
But then, so you're like, okay, well, I'll do my crossers play. That'll work well. But then post snap, oh crap, they're in cover 3. So that's why you have your first read, but then you have to have a second read. So it's like, okay, so he's out because whatever. So
I have another question. I apologize, Shane.
So do I,
Yeah.
but I'll wait until.
No, go ahead.
My question is, this reminds me of the concept of your safety nets are your tight ends and your halfbacks in the flat. Is this kind of a good example of what they mean by the safety net concept?
yeah, no, it is. Because whatever the secondary is doing as far as coverage, I mean, that's way up in here. Tight ends oftentimes are right down in here.
Sorry about that.
Do you have thunderstorms again, Scoop? Is that what I'm
Yes.
hearing? Oh my God.
Oh,
That's-
jeez.
All right, stay safe.
Thank you.
So yeah, and then Brandon, you were saying you would run a what here?
If it ends up looking like that, it's mesh.
Yeah. So let's say they start out, back
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna look at quick game,
Yeah.
right? Because you know that you're gonna have some space underneath.
That's where my confusion was earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. So you have the
Scoop-
right idea.
Scoop, what was your question? I want to make sure we get to your question before I forget.
I'm gonna be honest, I've forgotten it.
Okay, we'll get to it later. It's okay.
That's all right.
If I think of it, I'll
Um,
write it down.
So then now,
Oh, I'm sorry, I just remembered it.
Yes,
Um,
please.
yeah.
So basically, so generally they say that they want quarterbacks at the NFL level to go, get the ball off 2.5, 3 minutes or 2.5, 3 seconds max. So
Mhm.
at what time frame? And I know you can't obviously think in your head it's been this long, but like what general time frame do you want to have gone for your first? And you're like you've given up on your first read, you're going to your second or whatever. Like, is it generally like half a second or like? Is it hard to quantify?
Isn't it very
Um,
instinctual? I mean, it's
about a
very
second.
instinctual. About a second, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just asking because I know one of the biggest criticisms we hear about guys who are trying to go pro in the draft is he gets too easily locked onto his first read or he and that type of thing. So that's why I was asking at what point do you want to see a guy have moved off his first read and considering other options basically?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
A second's
the-
a good call. Thank you, Shane.
and
Aloha,
the
Mr. Wiltsey.
and the
Patrick,
disguising
Patrick, here you go, buddy. There you go. There we go.
the
There it
disguising
is, right
things
there.
and whatever is why film study before a game is so important,
Right.
because you can look at it. It's like, okay, I went to a clinic a couple months ago. I won't say who ran it because I don't think I'm supposed to.
No, you're not. You're not supposed to at all. No, you are not.
I mean, it wasn't like top secret information, but it just anyway.
It's important to not divulge that. So yeah.
Yeah, no. But he was showing us tape from the Seahawks Super Bowl, and he was saying it's like, he was like, yeah, the Seahawks noticed that whatever percentage of the time when New England was in when they were in a strong side, closed shotgun set, they would run, the F would run a slant, and then that's when they would do all their cat blitzes from the when they would have the nickel corner blitz, because they knew that they would be able to get a linebacker in coverage on that receiver.
I don't know much about this kid, Kenny. I need to look him up. Thank you for always letting me look these guys up. Jody with the Hurts question. Sorry, guys. Jody with good content. All right, please continue on, Shane.
What does Hutz do well?
Hurts.
Hurts. He does a lot well. So, anyways, so now, let's say, sorry, I just gotta fix this.
While you're saying that, Kenny was asking about this Bernard kid. He is very interesting. He's a Nigerian prospect in the International Pathway Program. Who's going into the draft.
I've never heard of him, to be honest.
No, I have not. He's getting some hype though. HBCU showcase guy. A defensive tackle.
He says he's a day 3 projection. Excuse me.
Yeah, 6'5", 310, 6% body fat. Very much like a Victor Wembanyama type. Kind of guy.
Oh wow, he got a 10.0 perfect RAS. That's amazing.
He's got a 10-10 vert. Very interesting for a day 3 guy. Yeah, I am looking him up right now. Very interesting for a day 3 prospect. I imagine he'll be a late day 2 if the hype continues. But thank you for mentioning that, Kenny. Shane, please.
Yeah, thank you, Kenny.
So in this situation, where would you guys want to put quarterback, running back, and slot receiver? Or F. It could be a fullback, could be a second tight end, whatever you want. And what play would you want to run?
Oh, there's 7 in the box. So
yeah,
I'm not running against that, I don't think.
You could.
You could, but
second tight end.
Yeah, I don't know.
7 on 7.
I don't know how much I would trust it.
This is a very scary look for me. I don't even know where to start.
Because I was gonna say, whenever I've seen something like this from what we did last year in Philly, they always had Hurts under center. So
yeah,
like I'm thinking about putting the QB under center and the halfback behind him.
Let's say this is 2nd and 3.
I mean, if I have Hurts, wouldn't I just try and call a run with Hurts? Like if
it's 2nd and 3, if it's 2nd and 3, I'm running a play action or an outside zone kind of situation. Because if I'm running a play action, let's say I have Jalen Hurts, okay, in this situation. If I have Jalen Hurts, you know what I'm telling him? I'm telling him, hey, I'm running a play action. I want you to roll out, and if you see nothing, burst. Just go get the first. That's what I'm telling him, because that's why you want a mobile quarterback. But I'm running to the outside here on a 2nd and 3. Especially, I'm mostly going to run actually to the left side because I feel a little bit more space here.
Yeah, I see what you're seeing too.
But yeah,
although I would say the free safety is also shaded a little more in that direction, though.
I'm fine. Because here's the thing, Scoop. I'm fine with the free safety, whatever the free safety is going to do. Because let's say I'm running a play action. Even if I'm running a play action, Jalen Hurts is so fast, I'm going to just tell him to go get the first and deal with the free safety head on.
Oh yeah, I was thinking in a general sense, not if I have like the fastest quarterback in the NFL.
Right, but this is why I want mobile quarterback. But if I don't, guess what? I'll use my running back and I'll just power to the outside, and I expect my
Yeah.
offensive lineman to just go. Am I correct, Shane?
So which side are you gonna roll to?
I'm gonna roll to that left
The
side.
left.
I have more open space to the left. No, I'm going the
wow.
other way. Why am I
No,
going the other way?
because your targets are that way, aren't they? You have 2 targets out that way.
And for running purposes, there are more what?
Blockers.
Blocker.
Blockers.
Yeah.
Got it.
So
I didn't.
Oh,
look
so
at
wait.
closely enough at
play
benefits.
action. That is correct. That's what I would do here. So if it's second and short, you got a heavy box. So let's say
All right,
you
second
put,
and 3. Let's focus on that second and
or
3
second
thing.
and 3. Yeah. So
Let's do that.
quarterback's going to be under center, and then we'll have halfback right here. Where do we want to put the F? Do we want him in the slot? We want him as another tight end. We want him as fullback.
I want him, honestly, I want him as a fullback here.
Yeah,
Or,
I was
Me
thinking
yeah.
the same thing.
I want as a fullback or kind of right next to the Y. So I feel
Yeah,
like I have an extra blocker.
because even with the wide there, you're still short a blocker in the middle, and you're still
Wait, Shane. What I'm thinking here, let's say the F is here. I'm still gonna want him to push to that side, so I have that extra blocker.
Yeah.
Just give him some
Yeah.
speed.
No.
Yeah.
Exactly. So because then that way you can have one in the box. You can have 1, 2, 3, 4 blockers going to that right side, and there's only 1, 2, 3 guys on the right side. So that's a huge advantage for you, because then let's say Mike or Rover, right, tries to come down and make a play, they can't because fullback is there, right? And that's if they're not accounted for by one of the other offensive linemen. So yeah, play action would be great here. Another thing you could do is depending on the coverage, right? Like if you cover 2, if they're in that, for instance, that would be a great time to do like a flat route to a tight end.
That's what I was
here.
thinking.
Yeah.
Or even to the fullback or running back, whoever.
Can I ask something about that flat route thing? With
Yeah.
the tight end with the Y here. I'm concerned about that linebacker that you have here, the S right here.
Mhm.
And then your edge potentially kind of shading a little bit, and then your BC here. I feel like they're all going to cover that flat on the tight end. No, hypothetically, or no?
Well, yeah, but that's why you would have, yeah. So the Sam would be on that, but
Sam. I was thinking like stud, but no, it's Sam. Okay, well,
Yeah.
whatever.
I got you. So yeah, I mean, if Sam is going to be on Y, it's going to take him a second to get there, because he's, because I mean they've got 5 yards between them. So if it's just a quick, flat here, I mean you still got, if you're rolling out, you got time to get it to him before especially since he has inside vertical leverage on him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this would not be the best time to go for like a corner route, for instance, where you're coming all the way up and doing that, because, well,
I'm sorry. I know we've gone over this like 17 times. Can you remind me which receiver is the Z typically representing?
The
like
Z,
yeah,
Is like a speed
what-
guy or
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
deep threat.
speed deep threat? Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if it was like the one-on-one guy or the that.
Yeah, the X is the like the contested catch, tactical route runner type of guy.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to say. I just-
Basically, Scoop, Devontae Smith is our Z and AJ's our X.
Yeah.
Okay, so the X is
In
the one
most
that doesn't
cases.
finish his routes.
The X, that's why we had problems with him last year, because the X needs to finish the route in order to make catches.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry, I just had to get that in there.
No, you're fine.
That's good.
All right, so now let's say, and this will be our last one.
I'm enjoying this.
Also, do you guys want to go over a route tree?
Please.
Yes, please.
I was gonna.
I
That was
would
gonna be
love
my
that.
next question.
Okay.
And can we email that to AJ Brown?
Yes. Send him an email. By the
Stick
way,
it-
that
stick-
reminds me.
stick it
That
in the
reminds
copy
me.
of the book he apparently hasn't read.
That reminds me. If any of you who are listening would like to sponsor the show in any way or reach out to us in any way, it's all one thing. Football After Hours NFL at gmail.com. Please reach out to us if you want to do any sponsorships of any kind. Since we're talking about the email, I figured I'd just say that Football After Hours NFL at gmail.com. Reach out to us. I'll be checking our spam or anything. So please reach out to us, and I'll be the one who will get back to you. If you email us and tell us we suck, we'll laugh at it and we'll move on. So please don't do that. But yeah, if you have any interest in helping in any way with the show, Football After Hours NFL at gmail.com. Figured I'd just let it go. It's also available on our YouTube page, on our Football After Hours YouTube page. It's right there, all the internal contact information. So figured I'd just let you all know that as well. Shane, please continue with your route tree.
Well, first, 3rd and 4. What are you doing here?
All right, I'm going to let you guys go here.
This is the classic, third and medium thing they talk about every time.
Don't drop it.
I have a question to follow up on that. What did I do to get the last 6 yards on downs 1 and 2?
You did your play action pass.
You got a first on a play action pass.
Well, because what I was going to ask is if I've already established the run, I was going to consider doing a play action out to the left.
Depending on blockers, yeah.
I like that thought.
I can tell you, I already know what route I want X to run.
What's that?
A slant, because the field corner is outside.
Shaded outside.
Yeah.
What's the route that goes it's like
are you talking about a comeback?
It goes no, hell no. It goes out and then like directly to the right.
That's an out route, man. That's a deep out.
No, not out.
No, wait.
That'd be an deep in.
Or deep in, my
or
bad.
dig.
I was confused.
Yeah,
dig.
Route. Route. Or a dig. Okay. Yeah, because that's the route I was thinking of, because it would take more time for the FS to close on them.
For the fields,
except he'd be right there already.
I was just thinking it would just take. I was just thinking it would take just like because like you were talking about like milliseconds. I was just thinking it would just take him just that slight bit longer.
Well, here's the deal, Scoop. If you do that, right?
Yeah.
What's going to happen is you'll make the throw and the safety is going to smack him. You're basically throwing a hospital pass.
Right.
You're basically going to kill your receiver. Is what you just did? What you just did is put your ex receiver in the hospital, Scoop. That's what you just did.
No, because you said the one that goes in and then that breaks inward on a diagonal. So I thought
you mean a post?
Do you mean a post, or do you mean Scoop? Look,
like
Kenny thinks Scoop can learn Chinese better than this. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think Scoop's just trying to learn it.
Well, it's also hard because I'm doing this with my hands, and that kind of hard to explain what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, either way, free safety's probably going to be there.
Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna be over top, or you put your receiver in the hospital. That's what you just did.
So Brandon's idea.
I was just, basically the reason I said what I said is just because I was trying to keep the FS, I was trying to make it so that the FS would have to have an extra second or so to get to the receiver.
Scoop, this is the thing. I think in Madden you're just throwing hospital passes. Now I realize what's your issue. You're just throwing. I don't understand
why it would be a hospital pass when it would literally take the free safety longer than what we
it wouldn't, because a free safety. If you wait, does Imanwari go rover or more free? What's a good? Okay,
rover.
Rover. Okay, let's say Cam Chancellor is there, right? At the Not that he. If Cam
Okay, so
Chancellor's
we're gonna go with one of the best. We're gonna go with one of the best safeties of the era. Okay.
Because that's what happens in Madden. Okay, if a free safety's right there, if Cam Chancellor's right there, your receiver catches that and he gets popped immediately.
Or you
and
get
your
picked.
receivers or get picked.
Yeah,
your
'cause, like,
receiver, your receiver dies if you throw this ball. He dies. You killed him. That's what you
And
just
this-
did.
A slant, meanwhile, is going to be underneath him, and you're going to be underneath the free safety and above the mic.
Right. But you have to throw that,
That would
quick.
be
You have to throw that quick because
That-
the mic's
yeah,
going
that's
to get
when
there.
And that's
Right
why
here, right when he
I've
breaks.
seen Philly run that play 1,000 times. I've
Mhm.
seen AJ Brown run that slant. And
Okay,
they
now
throw
if
it
you-
to him.
Here's the thing that I don't understand. So
Yeah.
where you've got the X breaking upward to the right, why is it more dangerous when the FS is literally closer to him on that break? Why is it more dangerous to do that instead in that same cut spot to have him just run parallel to the line of scrimmage instead rather than going that way?
Because guess what? Your mic is going to pop him too. If you don't throw it, because
If you
here's the
get
thing:
that-
if
if
you
you
don't
get
throw it quick
the ball
enough,
out
your mic's
quick-
going to fucking pop him.
Yeah, if you get that ball out quick enough, you're okay.
But
it
if
has
you
to pop.
don't, you get popped.
Yeah,
So that's why you got to get it like right here when he breaks.
basically on the
Yeah.
break. Yep.
Because if you get it- yeah.
where your finger is where I was envisioning him breaking.
Yeah,
No,
Yeah.
that's where you throw it. Not where he breaks is when you
That's
throw.
right. You
Because
throw it to him like
if you throw it
right here.
any later, you're either going to get popped
Yeah.
or you're going to
Exa-
get picked.
Yeah, Shane, exactly where you just drew that spot is where in my head he was doing the parallel run inward.
He's
Yeah.
cutting. He's cutting into it, and that's
The cut inward. Thank you. I couldn't think of the
perfect.
word.
Good job, Scoop. That you're learning. I love it.
Well,
I love
that's
this.
that's what I was trying to explain. I just couldn't for some reason. I
Yeah.
couldn't.
I'm just telling. All I'm saying is, and Shane and Brandon are saying the same thing. You throw it any later, you're getting popped.
I didn't intend. I wasn't saying for him to throw it any later. I was saying for him to not throw it as far.
Yeah. No,
Yes.
no. We got you. We got you.
Yes.
Okay.
I just don't.
that
I
was-
hate. By the way, this is what happens. Young quarterbacks, they throw it so late, their receivers literally go in the blue tent because they
Yeah.
don't throw it in time.
Yeah.
They get
li-
popped.
literally in my mind, I was having it be an earlier play, not a later one.
Right.
Now, if you wanted to run, what would you do here?
Well,
Inside zone up the right because there's an extra blocker. But if you go outside, you've got all the defenders ready to converge on the right side.
can I ask a question about that?
Yeah.
Could I technically? Do I have enough time to run a counter somewhere?
Yeah.
Because I'm shifting my lineman to a certain side.
Yeah.
Technically,
Well,
This is-
look at the box.
even though it
I'm
takes
sorry.
a little extra time.
How many?
Yeah.
Well, how many defenders are in the box?
6.
6. How many blockers are in the box?
6. Wait. Oh, with the fullback it's 7.
Fullback
The
counts.
fullback at
7.
Yes.
So that's a favorable
Yeah.
run situation,
Mm-hmm.
right? So in that case, we've got 1, 2, 3 on the right side. 1, 2, 3. Then on the left side, 1, 2, 1, 2. So you're kind of even on both sides. So the direction really is going to come down to just which way the fullback is going to go.
So
Could you do a fullback run? Like a fullback dive if you're only on like a and one or an and two.
I've done that before.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if
if
you're
it's
on
1 or
the
2
N1 or
yards.
N2, yeah.
I mean,
So-
4 maybe not, but
So-
Yeah. Not
Well, yeah, no. That's why I was asking what the down and distance would be.
Shane, are you gonna cover screens next week, or can I ask
Oh.
a question on screens?
Yeah, I
Um,
was just gonna
can.
say Brandon
Okay.
might be MIA for that episode.
Okay, so so I have 2 questions. A counter takes longer than anything, well, other than a screen. A counter takes an extra millisecond. Does that millisecond matter if you have like 7 blockers? Are you concerned at all? No. Okay.
No.
So could I hypothetically run a screen to the right side here? have my blocker shift and maybe get enough, or no?
Yeah,
Okay.
because it's I mean, I would rather run it to the left.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, you're not running it into the
right.
Yeah.
side where the defenders
But-
are.
Oh, I haven't. Sorry.
Yeah, Scoop.
That's
So
fine.
I can't for the life of me remember what the play design is. I could see it in my head. I just can't remember the name of it. But would this be an opportune time for the quarterback to for the halfback to go? It's the play where he breaks out to the left and then cuts inward right in front of the offensive line and have the quarterback throw to the halfback as he cuts inward.
Texas route.
Even if you said it, I probably couldn't think of it. I know it's
no.
the
That is a Texas. Can you show an example of a
That-
Texas?
Yeah, it's just an angle route. It's called the
Called
angle.
Texas.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
exactly what
Either or.
I was saying.
Yeah.
You
Um,
could, but I'm worried about
yeah.
the mic right there. Correct? Because isn't the
Well,
mic in a shade there?
It
if I'm not
depends what you do with the
careful?
Y or the Z, because if you're playing them over the middle, then yeah, you would be open there. But
Well, if the M's dropping back to where you've got him there, then wouldn't you have if you throw it, if you time the throw correctly, at least wouldn't you have that step or two to have enough window to get the ball to him because the M dropped back.
Well, that's the thing.
like if you hit him like right here.
Yeah, that's what
Right.
I meant. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Scoop, you have to think about this, right? Think about logically how many yards you're going to gain in that situation.
Mhm.
I'm going to gain probably 3 or 4 because the mic is going to be right there to make the tackle. So I have to.
That's the thing is I'm trying to envision how much room there is in these windows because it's kind of hard to.
Exactly. Yes, that's the exact right thought. Correct, Shane? You got to envision how much time, how many yards you're going to get. Exactly right.
I mean,
Well, that's what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to put like yardage lines in my head on these like graphics.
Yeah.
if it's 3rd and 4,
That's what I was thinking.
Exactly.
halfback stretch, baby.
The stretch.
It's
Yeah.
right
I
fair play.
completely forgot the name of that play.
I mean, you just get the
That's the one with
fullback.
the white line on the inside and the red on the outside, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get the fullback out here. Then that way, I mean, you could either have fullback going for free safety. You could have like the left guard pull up to Mike,
Mhm.
because if you're stretching to the outside, I mean, you just got to let the center try to get the nose, right? So this would be more of a power type run play, right? So that's one option. You guys had good suggestions though too.
There's
So-
many different ways to attack any defensive play. It's just about
That's
figuring
the
out
thing,
what
and
it is
it's-
and going.
And it's all about, you can have one idea pre-snap what you're gonna do,
Yeah.
and that's why you have multiple different routes, because it's like, okay, looks like they're gonna be in cover 2, so I'll go to this guy. Oh no, they're in cover 3, so instead I'll just do this. And you pivot.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's why I'm
Um,
asking a lot of questions about like how far defenders are dropping back or the down and distance or the yardage or whatever.
Yeah, no, all good, all good. I'm happy to answer. Robert, do we have time to go over a route tree, or
Yes, please. Take
Do you
your
wanna-
time and take your time and do it. Take your time and
Okay.
do it. We have about I'm gonna bump it up to about 6:30. So unless you don't
Cool,
think
so
we
about
have enough
85
time for
minutes?
that, if you
okay?
think you want to do it
Um,
to start next week, then
I
do
mean,
it.
doesn't matter to me.
I was gonna say, can we cover the route tree plus the movie in 25 minutes?
Probably not. So how
Oh, I
about
thought
we
it was
just
an hour and 25. Whoops.
No, I was thinking 25 minutes. Can you do that to start next week's episode?
Yeah,
Okay.
because
My
I
bad.
don't think next week
Off.
next week won't be as in depth anyways, because it's more or less just how the defense reacts to
Okay, I think, and that would be a good time to do route tree. Okay.
Yeah.
Final Four is just about to start on TBS. They're still doing introductions, so we're gonna have enough time to do this. Our movie is Extraction.
Plus, there's
2.
like, not to cut you off, but there are technically 3 different route trees. So
Oh yeah, so it would take
Oh,
way
boy.
too long.
and each one has 9 routes. So
Do you?
Yeah.
How about this, Shane? How about I give you 5 instead of 4? Because I would love you to do like a complete breakdown of all the route trees, really in depth. So how about I give you 5 whiteboard instead of 4?
I mean, that won't take too long.
Okay, fine. Just
But,
let me know if
yeah.
you need an extra week or 2, because I can always add it to our schedule. Okay. So,
Appreciate it.
Scoop, my question to you is where are you? I know that you texted me because I know that you have family over and stuff.
Yeah.
What timing point are you at in the movie? Like, what's your timing point here?
There's no way it's past 20 minutes.
Okay, so Scoop, I'm gonna have you
Yeah.
head out because I want to give you time next week, because next week we're getting together and we're doing the Who Killed Captain Alex anyway. So
Yeah.
we're gonna do that separately, and we're doing that next week. So you're gonna have time on Saturday of next week to talk about Extraction 2. You
Yeah,
got plenty of time.
that sounds great.
So
yeah.
you're gonna have plenty of time. So Scoop, I'm gonna bid you
Yeah.
adieu. Enjoy
Yeah.
the game. You will
Thank
have
you.
plenty of time next week. You will have
Yeah.
the floor next week. So
Yeah, I
don't
look
worry
forward
about
to
it.
it.
I will.
Yeah,
Don't
and
watch
plus-
the segment back. I want you to watch
No,
the movie
no.
in full.
No, of course. And then because that I think is going to be better quality than just talking about a truncated. Yeah.
Yeah. So because what I want to talk about is post the 20 minutes. So
yeah. And plus, you also said that the 2 is like you said you like this movie more than the first one, so I want to give it that respect as well.
So again, we are doing Who Killed Captain Alex because Scoop hasn't seen it yet, and we're gonna find a way to like effectively do that.
I mean, me not having seen it yet is not a very rare occurrence.
Yeah, it's just a great film. So Scoop, thank you for your time. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for
y'all.
being here. And we'll bid you adieu. And
Yeah.
you will talk about Extraction 2 next week. I'll literally give you
Yes.
like as much time as you need next week to talk about it. So you're totally fine.
Sounds good. Thank y'all
Have a great
again
rest
for
of your weekend.
great show. And Shane, thank you in particular for a lot of great insight today. I filled a lot of paper with with your, the stuff you've been helping us with. So thank you very much.
I hope I'm making sense.
Yes, you are. You are
Oh, yeah,
100%. You
Very
are
much
100%.
so. And to those who observe, have a blessed Easter.
Yes, and same
You
to
too.
everyone as well. This is also why we recorded today. I wanted to make sure that everyone had Sunday off to celebrate
Yeah.
Easter for those who observe. All right, Scoop, thank you for joining us, brother. We love having
Thank
you
y'all.
on.
Have a great
and
weekend.
have a great rest of your weekend. And with that, Jesus, Scoop ruined my editing. Now I have to edit this differently now. Oh my God, man.
It's not
Okay.
that bad.
No, it's not.
No, we'll just splice it. It's fine.
We'll splice it. It's fine. Tom Brady, another great example of a guy who has always thought about these things that Shane is teaching us. But oh my God, Scoop, I literally just ruined my editing. Now this is going to take another hour to get done. Oh my God. Okay. Anyway.
Wait. Look at how he messed up when there's a leave button all the way to the right side, nowhere near where he could end the
He
stream.
literally just messed up my editing. Now it's going to take another hour to get this out. God, man. Okay, it's fine.
Not that.
Dude, it takes an hour because I have to splice. Okay, whatever. It's fine.
How would that take an hour? That would take me 5 minutes with my editing.
Okay,
You
then
just
I'm
put
going to
it up-
have you do this because I can't do it.
Okay. You just put it. No, you just take both the files, put them together on the editor, and you're done.
Listen, I have an editor that when I do that, it takes the audio out completely.
Oh, that's why.
That's why. It's really
Okay.
weird.
Well, I'll just do it then.
Yeah, I'll have you do it. Because my God. I'll have you do it for one of Scoop's old shows too, because I need help with that. Why did this happen? How does he do this? I'm so confused.
I don't even
How?
see where end stream is.
It's all the way to the right. Well, no, you're no. It's like all the way to the right here.
Yeah, it's like there's
I don't have
literally
that.
there's on my screen. Leave is all the way to the right, top right, and like to end it, you either X out of the damn browser itself, or like there's literally ways to do this without having to end the stream. I don't know what the hell you did.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Anyway, it's fine anyway because you know what? I love giving the movies kind of its own due, so I might just leave it as like a separate thing because it honestly is great to do the movies separate. So it ended up doing okay. All right, so Extraction 2. So again, this is one of my favorite series ever. The third one is filming in June, beginning in Sydney in June. So we wanted to talk about these films anyway, as they are filming, or about to start filming, or just about to finish pre-production. So if you haven't, go back to our reaction to the first one, our first episode last week about Extraction 1, as it gives you context for what we're going to talk about here. So there's a lot that I can say about this movie. There's a lot of great symbolism, a lot of great things. But Brandon, I will start with you, as one of the reasons we did this was to kind of juxtapose this with one of your favorite series, John Wick. So what was your impression of Extraction 2 after seeing the first one and having all the context of these characters and then rolling into this great story here?
Well, this second one, it doubled down on everything that the first one did right. But I also think like there's a couple scenes where I feel like it dragged on a little longer than needed. And also like it's also interesting how you know somebody like Rake could face basically twice the amount of enemies, yet come out less harmed than the first one.
That's part of the unrealisticness of this universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, because because he really doesn't he's literally still able to walk and move by the end of this one, and yet in the first one he's basically on death's doorstep.
Mhm.
Nobody.
I'm just gonna say this really quick. In the first 15 minutes of the movie, they do a montage of him working out. When you have a broken leg and recovering from basically
You
almost
can't do
dying,
that fast either.
no way. No living human can do it that quickly. Even NFL players can.
Even if you took steroids, it wouldn't
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah.
So that's I get that.
But the thing is like with sequels, you do want bigger, better, and you do get that here. Even though but the thing is, you do sacrifice the realistic, like somewhat grounded in realism, the first one, but now this one obviously not as much. But and especially like the I know glass is strong. I know people are strong, but that scene on top of the glass hotel building,
It's
that's a bit,
one of the biggest skyscrapers in Austria. They literally filmed it on
yeah,
location.
like first of all, everybody that'd be out that far on that ledge would be dead. They'd all be dead. There's no way you would survive any of that. But not for nothing, like I do like the fact that this one was more emotional than the first one, so that they did add more drama to it. They added kind of more complicated relationships to it, which is always a plus. Like I said, bigger, badder, better. That's the whole goal of sequels, pretty much. And honestly, I think it did. I think it did just that. And I'm trying to kind of piece it together. I mean, it's funny that I don't recognize many actors outside of Hemsworth, but at the same time, I love the fact that Idris Elba is in this movie.
Idris, when I watched it, I'm sorry, when I watched this movie for the first time, and I was like, okay, let's do it, because I watched this when Extraction 2 came out. I was like, I'm gonna watch the first one, I'm gonna watch the second one. I opened this movie 5 minutes and I'm like, what is Idris Elba doing here? Why is he here? Like,
well,
what
it's
is
funny
he
because
doing?
it's only just his only purpose is just to set up for the third one. That's pretty much it.
But I was like, what is he doing here? I was like, yes, he's here.
Yeah, and of course, his snarky comments that they like every movie. Like I like him, and like he adds like that kind of badass but comedic effect to all his roles, which I
Yeah.
like. But it's like but the second I saw him on screen, I'm like, I know exactly basically what he's gonna say because I know the kind of characters he plays. So I'm
Right.
like, yeah, I know what's happening here.
There's no better image in filmmaking. One of the greatest imageries in filmmaking is Idris Elba drinking any beer. Him chugging a Stella Artois is just pure Idris Elba. Just chugging a Stella. Like, that's just so good. Anyway,
But
continue.
it's like it's like what is it? It's like John Bernthal with his with his lines about asking people questions. Let me ask you something thing
Yeah, Punisher.
where it's like yeah, but it's like like all movies he always comes up on somebody like let me ask you something like something like that.
Yeah.
But so it's the same thing with Elba with drinking in movies.
Drinking
But
hardcore beer, by the way. Stella ain't a cheap ass beer, man. It can be cheap, but it doesn't taste cheap.
it's like so it's like like this movie does a lot of things better, more comedy, more emotion, more action, like so it does everything in excess. It's just that for me, like it almost like the action sequences by the end of it become almost too fast and furious ish, where I'm like, all right, this is getting to be too much. Like I get the first one, and I got like the first half of this one, and like once we got towards the second half and towards the big finale, I'm like, all right, this is ridiculous. Like I'm like like I mean, action movies are supposed to be, and I get that, but I was like, damn, like I don't know, man. Like I get it, but I'm what is this? Bucky Barnes? Is this a super soldier? What is this?
Yeah.
Killing someone with gym equipment is awesome.
It's the funniest
It's
thing
the
ever.
greatest thing ever, dude.
It's
like when John
funniest thing.
Wick kills a guy with a pencil.
But that's why like I know it's unrealistic, and like that's my little like pet peeve about it. But at the same time, I'm like I still love it because it's fun on the eyes. I'm like I love seeing how stupid this is. Like
it's like Rick turns on a treadmill, and I'm like, what the hell is he gonna do? And he slams
I
the
knew he was
guy.
gonna smash the guy's face into it, and it's going flying through the glass.
Dude, and he also
what
the rope thing, and he ties it around the guy's. Oh my god, he ties it around the guy's neck. I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah, because the thing snaps up, so it basically kills him. But like, God, man,
whoever came up with the idea of let's kill people with gym equipment is a genius. It's genius.
It's also funny. it's to me though, like the funniest thing is like in the first movie, he's the one taking 70,000 bullets to his body and not dying. In this movie, Nick is the one taking 70,000 bullets to the body and not dying.
And yes,
because
he
died. But he did die. Like she took just as many bullets basically as he did, and she didn't die. I'm like, well, all right, then I guess that's what we're doing here. And also not for nothing, but like timeline like in my head of like like trying to think about realism, like what you could survive and what you couldn't.
Eddie Murphy laughing in movies is great. His laugh is infectious.
Oh well, yeah. Like it's like when I think when I think about that kind of stuff, it's like when we get towards the end of the movie and they're laying there in the church and it's like she's like has to get to a hospital now. I'm like, with her looking like that and bleeding out like that, they would not have time to make it to the hospital before she's dead. They would not have time.
Yeah.
Or an ambulance. You'd be dead. Yeah, or you just get to the ambulance.
Like, yeah, no way. So, like, it's far fetched, but it's fun. Like, that's what I like. Is like when I watch movies like action movies, and this is why I say it's a small pet peeve and not a big one, is because action movies are not supposed to be realistic. They're meant to be fun. Action movies have never been realistic.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if I wanted realism, I would watch the news. If I wanted to be entertained, I watch movies and TV shows.
Exactly.
So like, it's
This
like
is not real life, guys.
Yeah. So like, I do think this is better than the first one. I don't think it's way better than the first one, but I think it's better. But I mean, it's just like I can't. Oh, also, when the one of the the last was it the last fight scene where he literally goes like, I'm like, this has to be a call back to Thor, because I'm like, he's going to reach for like a sledgehammer, like a mini sledgehammer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a Thor. It's a Thor. It's a Thor thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
I'm like,
Thor. It's a Thor gag.
bro, I'm like, you could have picked any weapon. You lay down like a mini sledgehammer, and be like, hey, use this. I'm like, yeah, that's
It's
pretty
a
much
Thor callback. It's a
Thor
Thor callback.
reference.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, yeah, but like, so like a little, like, but I do like I said, I do like the comedy. I do like the fact that the acting to me is better in this one. Like, I mean, you can definitely tell that obviously with the second one, you do have more room to play and you have a bigger budget to work with. So those things are important too. But
Jody, this will be on the list next summer. I'm gonna add this to the list next summer.
oh, I
Tommy
can
Boy is
talk about
amazing.
Tommy Boy forever. I love that movie.
I'll add this either next summer. If we have time this summer, I'll put it on there. I completely forgot. That would be a great conversation.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We like that's where you have to do a watch along for that. Like all of us have to
We
watch
should
along for that.
do a watch along for that. Yeah.
That movie's too damn funny. I die laughing every time. That movie
We literally would have
funny.
to. We literally would have to do a watch along for that. Yeah. Thank you for the suggestion, Jody. I'll definitely consider that.
But yeah, it's all in all to say that this is a great sequel, especially for a movie that's obviously not going to be in theaters. I mean, high budget enough because it's Netflix, but not high budget, not like a major motion picture that's in theaters.
I would have loved to see this in the theater. I hope we get a small release window for the third one.
Yeah,
I would love just a week long. Give me like 1 week in theaters, limited release. I'll happily go. Happily.
Yeah, more Australian John Wick, please.
Yes.
But yeah. So yeah, I think it's better. And we're doing ratings still, right?
You guys rate both movies. So Brandon, go ahead and rate both of them, and if you kind of want to give, Patrick wants to do a watch along for that. Yeah, we can make that happen. What's your rating for both of the movies, and then the franchise as a whole? Do you kind of have a separate rating for both of them, or for just everything?
Yeah, I think it's gonna kind of align here. I think the first one's for me as a fan of action movies. I think the first one for me is about a 7. This one I would say is I'm not gonna say 8. 8's kind of high. I would say 7.5 for the second. It's just like I said, it's a little bit better for me, which still means it's better. And these are just really good. These are fun action movies. This is like an action movie we like. Yeah, you have to suspend your belief a little bit, but like at the same time, start to finish, it's a good time. I love the fact that one other thing, I like the fact that the takes were longer in this movie too.
We're gonna talk about that. Shane's gonna talk about that. I told him that I want to talk about that. Yeah.
So I like it better. So yeah, if I had to grade the first one's a 7, this one's a 7.5, and I think right now with the franchise, it's a 7.5. Like obviously, I would put John Wick higher just because it's like, because I love it. But
you still see the sensibility that I was going for, I guess, is the idea.
And well, if it wasn't for John Wick, you wouldn't have this movie or this series because literally John Wick, basically that first movie is what established the long shot, pretty much the one take kind of long shot
movies. Yeah.
Jody
was saying Beverly Hills Cop. I've never seen any of them. I've heard they're really bad.
Yeah,
they're replacements.
Thank you, Patrick. It's such a good movie.
I would imagine Brandon's gonna pick the replacements for our August sports movie section that we're gonna do.
I was thinking about it last year before we did Major League. I was thinking about the replacements. So yeah, I might just say we're gonna do the replacements because I love that movie.
So before we go on to Shane's thing, I'm glad that I kind of got what I wanted out of it, which was kind of just to have, because that's the thing, I just wanted to have a fun time to start the off-season movies, and this was fun. I also want to say this, why this is fun for me is because I would never do this in real life. So watching it in a movie kind of gets rid of that taste in someone's mouth to use a gun.
Yeah, I would think not.
Yeah, because it's like that's why. Remember, Shane. Remember, I had the conversation with you. We watched some movie, with like we watched a few movies where like the gun was the primary weapon, and I asked you what it's kind of like to have a gun as like a symbolism for a weapon in a film, because I thought it was interesting.
Yeah,
1
and 2 are great for Beverly Hills.
And you know one thing I want to mention, because I don't know if you guys will, but I want to mention it real quick before we go on to Shane. My favorite scene in the movie, and it comes towards the end, is when the brother basically shoots his right-hand man who's having, doubts about the whole thing, and the image of him bleeding on the Bible is awesome.
I have so much to say about my favorite thing in this movie, other than a huge 35-minute long shot, is the Christian symbolism.
Yeah,
I think it's done so incredibly well. Anyway,
well, you know what's funny? We also talk about, I'll let you talk about that, but I was thinking about it too as I was watching. I'm like this whole thing is just, the one phrase I had in my head was the sins of the father.
Exactly. That's the intentionality of it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, Dane, what are your thoughts on Extraction 2?
Yeah, I mean, I think, for me, it's just, first one was, fun, very surface level,
Right.
but I think with this one, it just levels up in every way. I think Chris Hemsworth leans more into the physicality. The accountant is good. I still haven't seen the second one, but first one.
I gotta watch both of them.
Yeah, he with the physicality, the emotion, and he, Rake, he feels a lot more human this time, as far as more guilt, more purpose, I guess, that he's being driven by. And I mean, he's still a tank, but he's you can tell that he's tired, both physically and mentally,
and emotionally, and all the for sure.
Yeah, and I think the mission being, rescuing his
former sister-in-law,
ex-wife, and kids, right? I mean, that just automatically gives it more weight, because that in itself is a kind of a not weird situation, but it's a it's like somebody that you kind of tried to move past, but you still have an attachment to them, just for it's just an interesting angle, I think. And I think the villain is better, more personal stakes. Still not like an amazing character, but it's fine. But the big long take, the one take sequence,
it's like 35 minutes. It's crazy.
I thought it was I think it's like 20.
Oh, it's 20.
Yeah,
it felt so much longer than 20 minutes.
But still, yeah. But no, it's just absurd in the best way, in the best way possible. I mean, it starts with a prison riot, and then there's all these hand-to-hand fights, and then gunfights, and it goes to a car chase, and then a train,
and then a heli, and then a heli.
It's just like, what is happening? But it's awesome.
Nikki, I know the game is on. We're almost done. We got it. I'm keeping track of clock. We got it. I appreciate it. I would direct message Brandon about Ballerina whenever he gets a chance to see it.
Yeah, I have to watch. I have HBO Max. All 4 John Wicks plus Ballerina are on there. So
yeah, I know, Nikki.
But
We're almost done. Don't worry about it.
I like.
Thank you for keeping me on track, Nikki. I appreciate you being my extra producer here. I'm being serious. I need the assistance.
I just I like with this one take. To me, it didn't feel like, oh, let's just see how long we can make this one shot. But it felt more like, let's never let the audience feel like they can settle down from the chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always moving.
Because so the camera, it becomes your point of view, your heartbeat, your sense of danger, all that. And yeah, I like that the camera is handheld but not super shaky. It's just it feels very controlled. Not just like chaotic like in the Bourne movies.
I need to see those as well.
And I Bourne movies are great, but I absolutely hate the camera work in those movies.
Nikki, you can write graphic designer and associate producer. That's your role on the show. All right, continue.
But anyways, this isn't about Bourne. But yeah, so it's all this stuff, and there's so many like smaller fights happening in foreground and background, and camera just like so seamlessly moves through all of them. It's just great. The whole thing is fantastic. It really gave me Uncharted 2 vibes. I know,
It's very Uncharted-like.
I know. I said that.
This to me is so Uncharted-like. It's insane.
Yeah, I know. I said that last week, but it's just true. Same with Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning. Major Uncharted 2 vibes in the ending there. But it's cool. It's a great game, so borrow from it. I don't care.
Yes, yes, that is your main responsibility. That's so funny. I don't. I'm trying to focus, but Nikki's making me laugh hard. On this,
yeah.
How many cuts did you catch? That because it's not actually one shot. I mean, it's freaking long as all hell.
Yeah. So in that particular scene, because they do kind of cut them between transitions.
Well, you remember, if you ever took a film class, they always tell you that the cuts always happen when a character's entering a certain space. So, like,
if something like if there's a quick pan.
Yeah.
If there's like going from a dark room to a bright room, there'll be one there.
Yep.
A big explosion, something like that.
God.
I don't know exactly how many there were. I counted 11. There could be more. I don't know. That's just what I noticed. I remember when we watched Knives Out, 1917. That whole movie's supposed to be like one take. There were 40 cuts in that movie, and I noticed like I think 30 my first time, so I missed quite a few.
Yeah.
So I would guess there's probably 15 to 20 cuts in there. But Robert's now gone.
I know.
There's Robert.
Yeah, I had some technical difficulties. Oh,
did you get all that or no?
I knew where you were going. So really quick, let me just pull this up. Kenny, our boss, being the legend that he is, sent me something that I think Shane will absolutely love. So I'm going to put it on the screen. He made something incredible. Which I thought needed to be showcased. Shane, this is you.
I saw
an
that
AI whiteboard.
That's funny.
Which I thought was incredible.
That is funny.
There's a second one.
It totally looks like me too.
Kenny will always send me this stuff, and I always just look at this one. That's that is
not gonna
incredible.
lie. Not gonna lie. It kind of looks like Scoop's hair, but on Rob's face.
Yes.
No, I think that just straight up looks like Scoop.
Yeah.
No, that's Scoop's face and Rob's body.
Yeah. Oh my God, our boss Kenny is an absolute legend. That's 100.
Oh yeah, Patrick. By the way, Scott Adkins is awesome. I've watched
He
a
is.
lot of his movies. I've watched a lot. I spent last summer when I had like a break watching all of his movies. I will watch anything that man does. I do not care.
Okay, so did you finish up your thought, Shane? Do you want me to give kind of my spiel before we
Yeah,
go?
and
Okay.
I'll give the movie a B+.
Oh, how do you give the first one and the franchise as a whole? If you were to grade it. So far.
First one, I'd give a B. Franchise as a whole, I guess a B+.
Okay, that's fine.
That's about what I did. Yeah.
This is this second movie is a 10 out of 10. This is one of my favorite movies of all time. I'm not gonna lie. This is one of my favorite movies of all time, and I always forget about it because I don't have it physical. It's only on Netflix. I don't think there's a physical copy anywhere. If there is, I need to find it and buy it off somebody. Because this movie is just off the walls fun. It's insane. It's insanity. I mean, we talked about this last week, how important it is to have a stunt double direct this. I mean, you could see it. Insane. And my favorite thing about this movie, up first, the brother, the son, is the MVP. I have never, this is going to sound so bad, I've never wanted to kill a 13-year-old more in my life. He's such a dick. He's such a dick. He's so bad. I mean, genuinely, I had a thought, and I think this is what's going to happen in the second one. I think he's going to become like a big bad of this franchise. Because he's a kid that I just sat there going, dude, he's so far gone.
Yeah, I could see
that. He's so far gone that I don't understand why you wouldn't just, and I understand why they didn't. Obviously, there's a connection with the mother, but I wouldn't even care. I look at that kid and go, he's so far gone. I'm so happy Easter to you, Nikki, as well, and to all of you listening. No, but to me, he's so far gone. He just is. Which again, the reason why I had that feeling is good because that was the idea, is to have him be so far gone. It is. I love not only, so there's two pieces of this movie that are very smart from a script writing perspective that is shown on camera through the acting. Which again, so the acting and the script writing, the cult-like symbolism and Christianity. When you watch Venom 2, they finished that stupid movie in a church for no reason other than, oh, there's a wedding. Let's do the final battle in a church. It's like, what? If you're going to do a final battle in a church, you have to challenge somebody's beliefs on Christianity. Mm-hmm. And that's what this movie did. I bet you Christians watched this movie and had a hissy fit. And that's good. Because that's the idea. The idea is cult-like symbolism and Christianity and how those things connect. And it really is the backbone of this movie from a psychological perspective. And I love that. And then the action just adds to it. And the action adds to it, but really the acting and the script writing. Great job by Joe Russo. I think this might be his best script. He's not an amazing writer, but this is probably his best script. Easily, I think his best script, just because everything has intentionality. And really, the thing that I appreciate is Joe Russo wrote the script, and he's like, I trust, Sam Hargrave. He went up, he basically said to Sam in both of these movies, particularly the second one, he was like, hey, here's the script, read it, and go. I'm not going to, just go. I trust you to do, I'm going to hand you the script, and I trust you to get the vision correct. And he gets it correct in every way. And then obviously the action and the set pieces, which we talked about last week. Is it realistically a 10 out of 10 movie? No, no way. It's more like a 7 or an 8. But there's just something about the fun factor for me, especially watching this on a 65-inch TV with JBL headphones on. Bro, I felt like the gunshot. I felt like I was being shot with a gun. Like there's, that's what you want in a film like this. And so, and that's why I'm excited to watch John Wick, because now that we're comparing this to John Wick, I need to compare it to John Wick now. I need to watch it.
Yeah.
But and the Bourne movies too, and obviously some of the 007s and stuff, which we might get to this summer as well. We might not do 007 now that we've done this, to be honest. We'll probably skip 007. But regardless, I love this movie. I love the acting. I think the cast is great. I think the script writing's great. I think the action. I think it just gets all these things so right. And honestly, I didn't feel that way about the first movie. I felt like it dragged in some pieces. I don't have fond memories of the first movie, but I always have fond memories of the second one. And that's why I wanted you guys to watch it, because I was like, I'm kind of sad that I have to show you guys the first one. But the context of the first one really matters. Once you understand the context, it adds so much to the story, as any sequel would. And as Brandon so aptly said, and Shane as well, like this is what you do in a second movie for an action movie. You amp everything up. You amp the stakes, but you make it personal. So you have connections to these characters that you learned from the first one. I think this movie gets that 100% correct in so many ways. So yeah, it's a 10. This franchise is like an 8 for me. I think the first one's like a 7.5, 8, probably 7.5. But I'm asking Netflix. I don't know if they did a small release window for this in theaters for the second one. They may have. If they probably will do one for the third one. I'm going to be first in line. And I am fully confident that this series is going to turn into, that is the most unrealistic thing in the world.
Yeah,
I am
just
very
keep leveling
confident.
That's what you're going to see by John Wick 3.
Yeah,
also.
That's what's going to happen with Extraction 3. They're going to
Yeah.
make so much of this crap unrealistic. I know. And and Idris Elba's character T's like, he's my guy's a bad MFer. Like, Ray is going to hate whoever this dude is. Like, I know how this is going to go, but I'm going to go in and just be like, I don't care. I'm here to have a fun time. And that's what the third one's going to be. And that's why I'm excited for it. And that's why I'm begging any Netflix, if I pray to God, some Netflix executive watches this, please give me a week-long release window in theaters. I will pay it. I will pay you the $20 and I will go. Take my money right now. Please. Please, Netflix. Please. I do not want to see this on my TV at home. I want to go to a theater for this. Even the second one, I think it would be way better in a theater. I really do. Regardless, that's my biggest thing is Netflix give me a week-long release window. I will go. I will go to Seattle and see this. I don't care. Just give me it. Just give me it, please.
Yeah.
Give me a bit of a release window. But yeah, I'm glad that you guys enjoyed it. I'm glad you guys got what I hoped you guys would get out of it. And then next week we're gonna find a way to get together for Captain Alex, which I know Brandon and Shane have seen before, but Scoop hasn't. And I think Scoop seeing that movie, he's going to lose his mind at how hilarious that film is. So I'm really excited about it. So our next two films are Captain Alex, which is a great, funny movie. And then I just picked up this movie a couple of days ago. And I want to talk about it, mostly because I want Scoop to see it and get his thought process on it. We're going to do the first Knives Out movie, which is a Rian Johnson special. One of, I would argue, a modern classic for a lot of different reasons. So we'll do that. I'm going to add that to the list because I asked Shane if he's going to do it. He's not. I want Scoop to see it. That's part of the intention, is to get Scoop to see interesting movies. So that's what we're doing. So that's the next 2 weeks. And then we'll figure out the rest as we go past the draft as well, because I'm not going to make you guys watch a movie during draft week. That ain't happening. So I know we went a little over time, but again, movie important stuff that we wanted to get to. But the game's still pretty good, and it's still super early, so we're in good shape. Enjoy the games, enjoy the Final Four, enjoy baseball. I think I haven't talked about this fully, but we are going to go on Wednesday, Brandon, on What's the Scoop, and I think if you can help me, I want to convince Scoop to do a WWE episode because we're a week before WrestleMania. I want to deep dive into the history of wrestling from you, but also just also get a little bit in terms of what's happening to the WWE currently as we're coming up into the most important week of the WWE calendar. So I think that's what we're going to do, as long as we can convince Scoop to do that and be in for it, which I think he would be. But I think that's what we're going to do on Wednesday. It's kind of a WWE special, talk about the wrestling world. And then obviously be here on Thursday for What's the Scoop. And then Saturday, I would assume same time on Saturday next week for Shane's Whiteboard number 3. So we'll see you then. That's our schedule for the coming week for our group. So we'll see you guys then. We'll see you guys next week. Have a happy Easter. Thank you for spending the time with us with the Final Four on and a very busy weekend, Easter weekend. We really appreciate the time. And thank you again, Shane, for just another incredible segment teaching us all about the game of football. We're very grateful for the effort you've put in to create this curriculum to teach us and our audience.
I'm glad you guys are enjoying it.
All right. Well, thank you again. Football After Hours is sponsored by Lion Coffee Company. Go get your coffee from us. We didn't have time to do a second promo, so I'm just going to do it right now. Go get your coffee at HawaiianCoffeeCompany.com. Go get it. I tried the vanilla macadamia this morning. It is fantastic because it's literally like it tastes like perfect mix of vanilla and coffee, but it tastes so much better than what you would get at like a local Starbucks, right? Because it's made with heart. It isn't, it's made with heart. It's made with care. So go get coffee. Fresh heart care. If you want that in your coffee, Lion Coffee, Patrick, just fantastic. And again, thank you, Patrick, for being our presenting sponsor and giving me this wonderful sign so that it can be promoted at all times on this show. Thank you guys again. Enjoy the Final Four. Enjoy. Happy Easter. For Shane, for Brandon, for Scoop, for myself, Robert. We are out. We will see you next Sunday afternoon.
Woo.
Peace.
Later.
See ya.